Hey, we're recording.
Oh my god.
It's just time to go. We're starting.
Look,
Because, hey, and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host, Hunter, and as always, I'm joined by...
John.
And this is Sarah. Hello.
Hey, what's up? How's it going, y'all? It's time for another mailbag episode, which means we don't have a script, just a lot of questions. So
mailbag.
And hopefully answers. I can't promise.
Yeah, maybe we'll just go, I don't know, man.
Standard content warning for World of Darkness vampire stuff. It's a horror game.
Also, we are talking.
Yeah, we're talking.
So sometimes content warning.
Yes.
Yeah, fucks will be dropped.
But hopefully nothing
Probably.
too crazy.
Yeah, we'll find out. In game.
It kind of depends on you guys, really. What did you ask us?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's kind of your own fault if you asked us something fucked.
Well, you can't.
Well, the first one's starting
I
off.
say that, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
You should expect a fucked answer
if you're
asking a fucked thing.
question. Yeah,
yes.
that's fair.
So I went back to when we did our last mailbag episode and started the questions from there. So hopefully we're getting everybody. But the first one is starting. Might be a bit... might need a content warning.
Immediately?
But this one is from Nicotine Patch, and they asked, okay, so maybe this has been answered before, but what was your guys' White Wolf, what the fuck moment? For me as a Muslim, it was the Bana Hakim's Old Bane. Also, what's y'all's favorite and least favorite moment of playing VTM? I want to hear some juicy gossip.
My first serious what the fuck White Wolf. I think my first what the fuck moment was digging through a used bookstore for books, and I found the Zamitzi first clan book with the vagina mouth.
That's exactly what I thought about. It's the first
I think that was my
came
first
to
what
mind.
the fuck.
Yep.
It was just like,
What the fuck is this?
What am I? This is just raw dogged on a shelf in a fucking half-price books.
I saw it in my mom and dad's gaming closet.
Fantastic. Though I did look up recently, if you have an OG copy of that book, it's currently selling on resale on Amazon for like $340.
What?
Whoa.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, some of the first editions of the clan books are like real expensive.
That's wild.
I'm glad I bought all those first.
Yeah.
I was going to buy a reissue of that book from Drive-Thru RPG, and they won't sell you a physical copy. You can buy a PDF, won't sell you a physical copy, and I'm just like, God damn it.
Dang.
It's because the vagina mouth with teeth.
It might be the vagina teeth mouth. The vagina dentata face mouth.
Yeah.
Mine wasn't actually from Vampire, because I went into Vampire being like, all right, I've seen a lot of industrial music videos from the 90s. I know what to expect here. And I was a lot younger, so I wasn't really, like, thinking about much of it critically. It was when I tried to get into Werewolf and just Werewolf in general.
Just werewolf.
Yeah.
Like,
Just werewolf.
this is not a kink shame moment, but just the amount of, like, incest and animal sex, like, ophelia, I can't remember the term for that. Zoophilia and the weird, like, Omegaverse, like...
It was like pre-Omegaverse.
But you could tell there are people who are kind of into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, Werewolf in general was the first game that's been like, I don't think I'm comfortable with this.
It's really funny
Fair.
having had exposure to OG Werewolf the Apocalypse and then watch the Omegaverse happen in real time, like get built brick by brick. And I was just like, you guys are just ripping off this thing over here. And they had those folks had no idea.
Yeah, so I think Werewolf was the first one. I was like, I like Vampire. There's other games. Let's check it out. Werewolf seemed cool. And I was like, oh, never mind.
Well,
And it's like, I'm cool with being an Angie spirit warrior on behalf of the planet. That part sounds cool. And they're like, by the way, to keep our fighting line in going, you gotta like bang your like third cousin. I'm like, why are you tracking the family like that? To begin with.
well, you got to keep the family line going, you see. What the fuck?
Yeah, so that was mine. And then the second part of the question was our favorite and least favorite moments in VTM.
Oh my god.
Playing specifically.
I think my least favorite moment is, this is just a continual theme I have to deal with, which is the weird amount of times that I've had to deal with somebody's like sexual power dynamic issues that they won't acknowledge, and then they make it the game, and then I'm just sitting here going, I thought I was in a game where somebody was playing a villain on purpose, and we were like, we did the consent checks, we were all aware of it, and then halfway through realizing, oh, this guy does not know
Yeah.
what he's doing. What? I want to escape. I need. Let me out. Let me out. I'm like, do not want.
Yeah, that's a big no.
That's a big no, that's the worst for me usually. It's just being in a scene and halfway through realizing, oh, this guy's making me play out his fetish and he does not realize that's what he's doing. So I'm not sure how to have that conversation in the moment. Just big
Yeah. I've been pretty lucky. I don't think I've had any like super terrible in-game moments that I've had to deal with. I mean, I've mostly played with you two.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna do weird kink stuff because I know you're not into it. So why would I?
Yeah, and like I played some like online games, but they were fun, but I would say they're pretty tame.
Yeah.
I got lucky. So I haven't had any terrible moments actually playing.
Oh, that's good.
Luckily.
I'm glad. You look deep in thought.
I'm trying to think of anything that was like just like I do not want to be here right now.
Yeah.
And I can't really think of anything specific.
Well,
like there are always like small moments of just like
was there a moment
awkwardness
where, like,
of role play might just be like, oh, I could have done that better. Or,
little bits of cringe.
Yeah, and then nothing like specific I can't think of.
Was there a moment where your character like absolutely got their ass handed to them then?
Well, I guess that would be a favorite and most unfavorite.
Oh yeah, I know that's fair.
Because like
my unfavorite moment is just being in the I'm trapped in the room.
Yeah. I put myself here. Why did I put myself here?
No.
Yeah. I will say like in the game, Hunter and I played together. Then you joined the second season.
Yeah.
The end of that game was a oof. It was awesome. It was
good. It was a good oof.
Yeah, that'll also be possibly touched on in another question later on. So I won't go into detail, but it was a kick in the dick in a good way.
In a good way. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I will say for my favorite was one of my favorites. There's a couple that come to mind, but the most recent was in that same game, getting to play as a Ravnos during the Week of Nightmares.
Oh boy. Oh buddy.
So that was
super fun.
Super fun.
We had a system change for a moment.
Yes.
We played in a high fantasy game for like half a session.
And no one told me what was going on. They all had a meeting beforehand.
That's so good.
And I joined and all of a sudden we were just like playing D&D and I was like, huh?
Yeah.
You rolled with it very well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a favorite character moment, at least recently, and this is very dumb, but it's a side scene happening in LARP where a sentient radio purred like a cat.
Yes.
And I immediately was like, because I understand it was supposed to be a haha joke of like, oh, hey, you use like Leavenbolt and you do technomancy, so you having an attachment to a device is funny.
Mm-hmm.
But because of character trauma, I just immediately spiraled in character too. Oh, it purred like a cat. Oh, my family had a cat. Oh, my family might be dead. Hold on.
That cat's definitely dead.
Oh, that cat's super fucking dead. So it was like half my family. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna be really upsetty spaghetti, and then also reached out to a character I know that's like, hey, you got CIA connections, right? It's like, yeah, I need you to pull some files, and just gave him a list of names. I got that info. Now I'm just like, ugh.
Nice.
So sometimes just little moments can cause like really great, just like, thanks for this knife twist, friend. I appreciate that.
Yay.
But a sentient radio also purring is very cute.
It's very silly and cute.
All right. So for our next question, Nomad Prince wants to know, what do we think is the best portrayal of blood sorcery in film and TV series?
That is so hard.
That's hard because there's not a lot of depictions of like blood magic like that.
I was going through a list to kind of jog my brain, and I think one that I forgot how much of it there was, but there's actually a lot in Supernatural as far as like TV series goes. They do a lot of blood binding in that show.
I really, really, really like how the magic is done in the more recent Suspiria film. There is some blood magic stuff in it, but it doesn't really become explicit until the end of the film. So a lot of it's more subtle, but I really like the way that they do the ritual casting through the dancing. And some of it's very gnarly and it has a lot of ties within like the body and sexuality in ways that, you know, during Germany in the 80s, I feel like makes a lot of like interesting sense about the split between East and West and, you know, the sense of self and the body. And I just really like the new Suspiria. Also, Tilda Swinton plays 3 characters in it.
Hey!
We're just always like, oh, that's fun. I enjoy this.
I'm trying to find a list of movies that have depictions of blood magic in it, and nothing is coming up very well. Might be too broad of a term.
Well, it's like, if you're doing film and television for an international audience, like in the US, us showing blood is not a huge deal at fucking all.
Mm-hmm.
But I know once it gets distributed to other countries, there's a lot of folks that are just like, no, never. Absolutely the fuck not. And then depending on like social medias now, depictions of blood that might be okay on like film and television in the US are not going to fly because, sponsors don't like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that makes it harder. But yeah, I'm also trying to think of like films that do a really good job of showcasing like kind of hermetic-y kind of magic. Oh fuck, what was that Russian film that I shared recently? It was like a really good Soviet film. Fuck.
I keep getting screenshots from Holy Mountain.
Oh, dude, Holy Mountain's really good, though. I fucking love that movie. The magic in it is a little smoky. I don't have a better way to explain it. The logic in Holy Mountain is very weed-based. But it makes sense if you follow through the trail of, like, the story they're trying to say. But it's also very just like, this film is powered by weed.
Also, a lot of movies, it kind of shows up like someone will cut their hand to complete a ritual and that's about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't really think of anything where there's someone explicitly like collecting their blood in vials and doing like alchemy with it.
I mean, you get a couple of scenes of that in portions of like the new Nosferatu film, which is kind of neat. Like the stuff that happens with Nox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel bad spoilering Nosferatu because that movie's it's over 100 years old and it's been done several times.
Fair.
But like I like the portrayals of it in the Robert Eggers films because one, it is actually grounded in some really decent historical occultism. If you want more details on that, there was recently a discussion between Atun Shea and Esoterica that they put a video out about where they go into more detail and explain things, which is like cool as fuck.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm scrolling through the channels because I was like, I put this movie in the media thing to share with the fellow nerds, but then I shared too much media and it got buried.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is unrelated, but something I did just find is that a number of Islamic scholars accused Saddam Hussein of dabbling in this trope when he commissioned his infamous blood Quran.
Wait, Saddam Hussein had a blood Quran?
Apparently.
What?
That said, even those who didn't believe in magic were disgusted of the act.
That sounds very haram. I'm gonna be honest, that sounds super haram. What do you mean? He made a blood Quran. That's bananas.
So I'm on the Wikipedia page now, and the blood Quran is a copy of the Islamic holy book, the Quran, claimed to have been written in the blood of the former president of Iraq, Saddam Hussein, over the course of 2 years in the late 1990s. Saddam commissioned the book in 1997 on his 60th birthday, reportedly to give thanks to God for helping him through many conspiracies and dangers. He explained his reason for commissioning the book in a letter published by the Iraqi state media in September 2000. My life has been full of dangers in which I should have lost a lot of blood. But since I have only bled a little, I asked somebody to write God's word with my blood in gratitude.
Holy, that's metal as fuck.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Also, I feel like that's not what the book says you should be doing, my guy. That's crazy. I don't want to sound pro Saddam Hussein because I'm not. But I'm just like, that's metal as fuck. Holy shit.
I'm having a lot of trouble with this question. I feel like I remember there being blood magic in some of the old animes that I liked. Like, I feel like for some reason Vampire Hunter D has blood magic in it. Am I wrong in that?
You're not wrong.
I think there's some. I haven't watched that in so long. I need to.
It's good.
Also, just Vampire Hunter D in general, because just like, it's so well animated.
Well, I don't know. Nomad Prince, sorry we can't answer your question well. What's next?
What's next?
I found the movie I was looking for.
Aha!
It's called VIY.
Oh, yeah, that's an awesome movie.
Yeah, there's some really good occultic stuff in there that I feel like you could translate over very, very, very well.
Cool.
Yeah, but continuing on, I am so sorry. It's just there's not a lot of like what I would consider good depictions of blood magic per se.
Especially like VTM's version. Like you're not seeing somebody pour it into a chalice and the chalice catch on fire and the blood like twirl up into the sky and then some crazy shit happen from there.
There's a lot of really cool depictions of occultism that I feel like I'm like, you could just throw blood on it.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was the next question? I'm so sorry.
No, you're good. Let me see here.
I just had to scroll through a month of postings in our art and media channel to get to this. I was like, I know it's in here. I'm just being dumb and cannot remember how to spell this movie.
All right. Andreas Tremere asks, what is your take on future meta lore? Like, how would you imagine another flow of events, such as what's origin of the beckoning? What actually happened due to that in the Middle East? Has Tremere regained a pyramid blood bond? What is the next step of Goetrix Tremere plotting? What's the outcome of Promise 1528? What's after the thin blood disease and the future of the kindred? Sorry if this could potentially be an entire episode, but I was curious to hear some of your predictions or ideas of how you would direct the world events in future. So I think the best way to answer this, maybe not tackle each of those directly, but if each of us has some favorites or theories on what's happening.
Okay, well, this is also happening in a post, like a Henna War book being dropped.
Which I still need to read all the way through.
Yeah, from my reading through it, it's a very dense book, which is great. I love it, but it's a dense book. The cool thing is, and I don't know if other people are going to catch on to this, is because the Gehenna Wars is now being kicked up into a more open format. This, I think, opens up a lot of gameplay and stories around having to actually contend with hey, you know all this like prophecy and weird shit people have been talking about for centuries and was like a big part of the game plot. They're just like, it's coming. It's going to happen.
It's coming.
I'm just like, it's here.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? The threat is at your front door. What were you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I find those to be very, very interesting questions, and I'm really glad that that's where meta plot seems to be going, because that's shit that I'm very interested in, instead of just this vague, like, there's a prophecy and you can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
It's like, prophecy or not, shit is happening, and there are steps you can take. The people that are trying to kill the planet have names and addresses.
Yeah.
And I'm like, as a storyteller and as a player, I'm just like, that is so much more engaging than there's gods and you're fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
So, hell yeah. Like, you're dealing with demigods that are like, essentially demigods that are like, ridiculously overpowered.
But they can die. They are statted.
They have stats.
Yeah.
We can murder it.
I think as far as how I would direct things is I think it's okay to push the plot enough to like kind of update it from where the game left off before, kind of center it in modern times and give us some plot updates. I really hope they don't do what Old World did, where like they move the plot so forward that becomes the main focus of the game, or they give us any sort of full end game scenario. Like that, I understand it was interesting. A game had never really done that before. Them setting World of Darkness with all the different apocalypses for each game line was cool, but it makes so much of the later books in the series just unuseful or uninteresting to read. Like I'm trying to run a game that's set in 2025. I don't need to know what happened when the world ended in 2001 or whenever it was. You know what I mean? So it kind of wipes all those books off the table. Or at most you say, okay, well, that almost happened anyway. So I think it's cool that we're getting updates. There's things happening. They're pushing these plots forward so that, like, the beckoning is happening instead of it just being this, like, that's one of the signs it started and we're moving on, the world's over. I like that they're keeping it there, so we know that apocalypse is happening. We have some books that are saying, these are things that might happen. This is where things might head, but they're no longer canon, really. They can't be. And so I think that's the best way to go for it, is update what the characters are doing, give us new struggles, give us new plot ideas, but I don't want any huge new meta plot steps. I think that's for a couple of reasons. I think that's more engaging for players and STs to fill in those holes themselves. And you can do different stuff every time you start a new game, or you can run your own continuity at your table where we're playing new characters, but we're filling in those holes as a group. And also, like, for new players, they're not going to know who, like, 90% of these random ass names they're going to have to pull out from the old books to update these stories are. They're going to be like, oh boy, Greg showed back up? Not Greg. All right, who's Greg? Let me go read 5 books from the 90s to figure this out. Like, I think giving little hints, updates for the people who know what's in there is really cool. And it's like a, oh kind of moments for the people who get it. And for everyone else, it's kind of like, that's interesting. I could figure something out to do with this character that they've name dropped and he's doing this thing.
I like the idea of them pushing plot forward but just giving like big plot points and leaving the surrounding shit kind of vague. Like Earl Shaggy, he's up, he's moving around.
There's a whole cult.
There's a whole fucking cult. Like, they give details of like people licking the blood that's dripping from him and gaining blood potency up off the ground. That kind of shit's cool. But why?
Where's this going?
Where is this going? I like that they leave that open. I like that they are giving like big, huge plot points. The beckoning is real. That is a big, huge plot point that is defined now. But I do like kind of what you're saying, that they're leaving those things open to kind of explore still.
I think going forward, a thing that could be cool, like especially for stuff with plot for like the Hecata with the promise and all that kind of stuff, would be if the writing teams for World of Darkness, because they're pushing for having such collaboration between storytellers and players at the table, if they can do that in a bigger way and they're able to like, okay, we presented a big plot point, like is the Hecata going to remain independent? Or are they like and become their whole own sect? Or are they going to like team up with people in the Camarilla? Are they going to team up with the Anarchs? Could they possibly like revitalize the Sabbat and have that come back?
Right.
I think having the writing staff check out what the player base is doing and kind of get a vague consensus on where people are playing those kinds of stories and then kind of yes-anding that.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, well, the community is mostly lining them up with X, Y, or Z plot point. And they're like, okay. And then in the next lore book, kind of yes-anding that, going, okay, the Hecata have made this decision by this plot point or this faction of them has.
Almost like they do with Warhammer, with like the galactic campaigns, where it's like you play your game in your local LGS, or your LGS, and then you report who won and how to like the website, and it actually updates like a galactic map.
Yeah, it's like unfortunately I don't think the game world's big enough to quite do that kind of a scale.
Yeah,
because,
but I mean like that idea. I guess.
I like the idea of just kind of being like, okay, we've got an idea of like the community vague consensus on like this is where it's steering towards. We can pick this up and go, okay, that's a cool idea, but what if we go this with it?
Yeah.
Because that way it's the characters that are being played in the world are actually like having an impact on like how the plot's going to go overall. I think is a cool concept.
Yeah, that is cool.
Hopefully.
As far as Tremere and Goratrix plotting, I hope they die.
There's things in the Apocrypha addendum to the Book of Nod that I'm like, go read that. Go read it. That staff answered that question, and I'm just like, oh boy. Oh, I've been validated. I don't know if people are listening to me or if I'm just reading the cues correctly, but I'm just like, the thing I've been saying. Hell yeah.
I think as far as moving things forward in the question, what's after the thin blood disease, is I think there's enough thin bloods now that they're going to become like enough of a unified voice to at least be recognized as a clan. Like they can't be far off, especially with a lot of the old people disappearing, and now you have these big swaths of people. If they can get in with the Anarchs, who are probably going to be the ones who do it, or the Sabbat, I don't see the Camarilla doing it. Yeah. But if the Anarchs or the Sabbat really pick up the Thin Bloods and say, you're a clan now, we will recognize you, like, that's going to be a huge power swing. And they're also in a position where they're probably going to be immune to a lot of the bullshit that all the other vampires are dealing with. Like, I can't see them really worrying about or caring about the beckoning.
Airport? I'm not going to the airport. Yes, you are. That was my best Australian accent, guys. I'm sorry.
Great job.
No. So I think it'd be cool to see Thin Bloods just all of a sudden, like, I know it's kind of an antithesis to their position in the world and what kind of stories they're meant to tell, but I could also see them becoming having a bit of power, and you could still tell those stories by just setting it in a Camarilla city that doesn't recognize them.
Yeah, look, as Salt and Pepper said, you gotta flip it and reverse it.
Yeah.
And John looks so sad.
Get out.
No. I refuse.
Okay, fine.
See, I flipped it and reversed it.
Yeah, I guess so.
The audience cannot see you flipping me off.
That's fine, you can.
Okay.
Right. So I think ready for next question?
Yes.
Let's hit it.
Let's go.
So Carlos at SCG asks, how do y'all deal with all that drip?
Carefully. I'm moist.
It's been a struggle.
Yeah.
I'm cleaning out my wardrobe currently.
Cleaning out your closet?
I've already gotten, let's just say, a Tupperware bin and a half of stuff to get rid of. I have a walk-in closet and 2 dressers
Mm-hmm.
full of clothes I'm cleaning out. A lot of them are just bands.
Mm-hmm.
You buy a $10 band shirt here and there, and all of a sudden you have
200 of them.
a ton of hardcore band shirts of bands that 98% of the population do not recognize or care about. So cleaning through that has been,
Nightmare.
so that's how I deal with all that drip.
Yeah, I just we've hit a point now where I'm just like, you know what? What if I'm just gayer?
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was possible, but then
But then here I am.
Here
there
you
they
are.
are.
Just gayer. It's gonna keep happening. Whoops.
Whoops. I was getting up and I tripped over my gay pile into another gay pile, and now I'm
Yeah.
covered in it.
Look, I need people just to understand that I am a disaster bisexual, just visually from a distance.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Ayo.
I have purposefully designed my wardrobe to be able to get dressed in the dark,
Okay.
and it usually works out pretty well.
Yeah, because it's kind of nice thing once you have like an established aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
where you're like, okay, I found a couple of cuts that work well for me. I've got like a base palette that it's kind of interchangeable. Like you're fine.
Yep.
You can mix and match. It's
true.
great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we get that drip.
Yeah. Also, just the creative use of thrifting and being poor, mostly being poor.
That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Our next question is from Rampant Wombat. And they have a couple smaller questions, so I'll piece them out one at a time. First is, how are you all managing the balance of very cool podcaster people and real ass human life?
Poorly. I go to school full time and I do this, and I'm gonna also be doing another podcast, and I also do stuff for conventions with Gehenna Gaming now, which is cool. It's a lot of floor time with like various hues on my LED lamp.
It's good stuff.
I'm also trying to set things up so I can do more like content creation, because I'm having to accept the fact that for my mental health, I don't do well in a standard 9-to-5 job of like any sort. I've even tried office jobs.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me want to fucking self-delete like expeditiously, and I'm like, I gotta figure something out. So, going back to the arts more full time and in this economy is terrifying, but I've accepted that it is necessary, and I will suffer for your benefit. Give me $1.
Yeah, kind of similar. I've got this show and I've got a couple other projects in the works, but I'm also currently unemployed, so doing the podcast thing is easy.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, my company laid off like a couple thousand people.
Working in tech is great.
Yeah, I got some severance though. So, yeah, I'm working very part-time right now and just working on a couple other projects, so we'll see.
Yeah.
I work at an animal shelter,
Hell yeah.
and I do this.
And that's it. He does nothing else.
I mean, a lot of the time I come home and I'm like, all right, I'm done hanging out and looking at, intaking dogs and cats, sometimes guinea pigs. The other day, somebody dumped a rabbit on us. They just had it in a cat carrier and put it in our donation spot under a bunch of other donations. I didn't know it was there. I don't know how long it was outside. Anyway, yeah, it was a cute little bunny. But I leave home and then I come home and I feed my dogs, and then I walk my dogs, and then I try to eat. And then oftentimes it's just about time for bed.
Yeah, the thing is, like, you have a real job that's actually like helping the community, and it seems to be fulfilling you in a way that I'm like, hell yeah,
It's neat.
fuck yeah, John.
Sometimes it's awful, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's real neat.
Yeah, sometimes you get to meet a bunny.
Sometimes I get to meet a bunny. Sometimes a dude flashes a gun at me because I won't take his dog when he wants me to.
America.
Yeah!
How do we balance it?
Bunnies!
Yay.
Yeah, it's just about as well as we balance anything else.
Yeah. Dysfunctionally.
Yeah.
But thanks for the compliment in that question. That was very
I'm
nice
like,
of you.
I don't know if that makes us more or less cool.
Yeah, we're here.
Yeah. Their next question is, what's your favorite piece of unhinged World of Darkness lore?
Oh God,
It's tough to pick one.
I kind of dug into, okay, so Zamitzi, fucking duh, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that's where the
That's
direction
kind of
I'm
your
gonna
main.
go. That's
Yeah.
where I go. I recently, like over Gen Con, a little bit before Gen Con last year, I dug into the Asaku, which is like a cult, also path of humanity, question mark. But they are folks who use vicissitude, and they believe that they are, vicissitude isn't, vicissitude is a being, is a one-person thing. Well, not a one-person thing, is a living thing. And them as users of vicissitude are but like a feather on the wing of the bird of vicissitude. And I find that cool and weird and unhinged that they're like, I am not a singular being. I am just part of a whole. I think that's cool. And creepy.
Yeah.
Because, vicissitude.
Yeah, I think
It gets goopy sometimes.
I think my favorite bit of unhinged lore is I'm still riding the Milkosode trade of Louis Pasteur is a fucking vampire who is his own sire through a serum that he could reverse. What? What?
I guess. Yeah. There's a lot more wild unhinged.
The world famous scientist Louis Pasteur, I'm going to travel to Colorado. I'm going to do nothing to disguise myself. I'm just going to do a name change. No one will know.
I'm Pastor Louis.
And I'm like, Louis Pasteur, you're one of the handful of scientists that there's like actual, not only hand-painted portraits, but photographs of you in every child's textbook on the planet. What do you mean you're just going to change your name and nothing else?
It's fine. It's Colorado.
The thing is, it kind of worked for a little while.
Right,
That's like the crazier part. Just that alone of just like.
If it wasn't for that freaking Nosferatu, what was his name?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
With his little leggies.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, that's because especially in the view of V5, the fact that there's just a vampire on and off serum that's canon
is wild.
And then if you add that on top of, like, anything with fucking thin blood alchemy, I'm just like, what?
Is wild.
We can defy logic and God with the pure hubris of science? Fuck yeah. Love that.
For some reason, when I think unhinged lore, my brain will not go to those things, even though they are absolutely unhinged. I don't know why.
I mean, the only other super unhinged lore was a chat I had with a friend recently about old Werewolf the Apocalypse and just the amount of furries who are kinfolk.
Oh.
And then they get upset, spaghetto, that their Krynos form doesn't match their actual fursona. I find that very funny. I'm just like, okay, so that mean that you change your fursona to match your Krynos, or do you have two fursonas now? What does that mean? Do you get a fursuit of your war form now? And then you add in the complications of the Omegaverse, and just the whole thing is just like, the Omegaverse should be the bane of the existence of just the werewolf community because of cultural appropriation, and but that's me being unhinged. Which was the question.
What's that right?
Which one?
The werewolves use that let their clothes stick to their bodies when they form?
Oh, God. Yeah, I'm aware of, but yeah.
Homie does that to his fursuit.
Oh my God, just a guy in a fursuit, and then he just becomes a bigger
version of fursuit.
Yeah. Pays a stupid amount of money to a fursuit crafter to like get the. Fursuit crafter doesn't question it because they're used to just oddly particular orders. But this guy's like getting a fursuit of his own war form just because the idea of being little version and then big is just very funny to him.
Upsetting. What else do you have, Rampant? Let's see. Here.
I haven't answered yet, actually.
Oh, we'll get to it.
Get to it, chop.
No, I don't wanna.
Oh.
All right. Well, what's the next question?
No, I think my favorite. I'm also going to be pretty obvious here, but I'm going with the Malkavian named Word Eater. That is not their real name, but it said that they got so powerful that they no longer feed on blood, but on concepts. And one of the first things they ate was their own name. So they no longer have a name that exists because they can eat concepts. And so as things are forgotten and disappear from the world, it's because they are slowly draining the world of things that exist.
Oh, God.
Man, I bet the Fae really don't like that guy.
Oh, God. It's a vampire version of, oh, God, what's that monster indeed? Is it called a false hydra or pseudo hydra?
I think
it's
so. Yeah.
it's like you can't see it, but it like will lurk in a town and will just like eat people's memories.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I'm like, that is a horrifying monster
Mhm.
combat situation. Because the second you start to figure it out, the false Hydra can like eat some of that memory, and then you're just back to I don't know who
was that?
was what.
We know. I like it.
Hell yeah,
Quite a spooky.
that's very. I'm just like, yeah, there's just a guy that he just eats concepts. Though he could be more helpful by just like eating people's pronouns they don't need anymore. Could you eat my dead name?
Could you?
Like, you could be more helpful. Could you eat the concept of racism, please?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be one hell of a meal.
right? Be like a Thanksgiving meal.
He has to go to into a Thanksgiving torpor afterward.
That also really ties into a lot of early Malkavian and World of Darkness lore that kind of disappeared and revised, where the Malkavians were more like Fae adjacent, and they like part of his lore is he's freeing the clan and all of existence from like the lockdown version of reality we exist in, and kind of freeing the universe, because reality gets weaker as less things quote unquote exist. But that's my favorite. Just like
It's
What?
like,
what?
oh, just goddamn it, World of Darkness. I love you as a system, but you do crack constantly.
I mean, every single story of a flesh cathedral being a flesh cathedral and then gaining sentience and feeding on its own like creator, those are pretty unhinged too.
no. And then the last question is, how do you like your eggs cooked?
It depends on what I'm eating them with.
Yeah,
If
that's
I'm having
fair.
a sandwich, like a fried egg sandwich, I like to have it fried hard, almost patty-esque, you know? If I'm having it on like a scramble or something, I like it over easy. So you break it, you have the gooiness. Every once in a while, a good scramble will be good, especially if you're going to be putting other stuff with it, you know, like mushrooms or
I like
onions.
them scrambled.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
my answer. Scrambled.
Scrambled's pretty solid.
I just like eggs.
I've been doing, well, you know, before they get too expensive, I can't have them anymore. But at home avocado toast, where I do like an over easy egg on top, which is super good. I do fucking love. There's a local brunch place, Lincoln Square Pancake House.
Yes.
They have these biscuit and gravy omelets.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yes.
Super fucking good.
They're very good. I do like a good omelet. I just like eggs.
I'm not a fan of hard boiled eggs, asterisks, unless they're either in a bowl of ramen or in a Scotch egg. Any other variation of a hard boiled egg can fuck right off.
I like hard-boiled eggs too. Fuck, I just like eggs, man.
You're just an egg boy.
I like deviled eggs.
Yeah, no.
Deviled eggs are good. I
It's
like
the
a
mayo.
hard-boiled egg. I like a soft-boiled egg and some ramen. I just like
Eggman.
eggs. I'm an egg man.
All right. So our next question is from Okay Guys, Hear Me Out. And they ask, milk?
Just milk with a question mark?
Yeah.
I prefer, my favorite milk is cashew milk.
You decadent fuck.
I can't help it.
That's fair. I'm partial. I've recently been really partial to oat milk.
It's pretty good. There's something about oat milk that it doesn't sit right with me. Like the aftertaste, I think, is I don't know. It just makes me think of the times that I've had to take oatmeal baths. I don't know why, but the
Okay.
aftertaste makes me think of oatmeal baths.
Yeah,
That's me.
I've just gotten really burnt out on soy milk because that's been my go-to
Yeah.
for so long that I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go through like an oat milk phase, and probably in like 6 months I'm gonna go back to soy milk.
Ooh, fair enough.
He's just so excited about milk, he punched the mic.
I want the milk!
I don't really ever consume milk anymore of any sort. I don't drink coffee, so I don't need to put stuff in coffee. I occasionally will cook something and they'll be like, add milk. And then I'll be like, oh shit.
I gotta go get milk.
Yeah,
But
Actually, I changed my mind. My favorite milk is ice cream.
that's true. You do like ice cream.
if that counts, I guess that's what I would say.
Yeah, I think the only times I use dairy milk is if I'm making mac and cheese from scratch, because I haven't been able to find a nut milk when I'm making a bechamel that works like quite the same way.
Right.
I would probably say yogurt, if that counts. It's a dairy, but
yeah.
I eat yogurt daily. It's a great base for like low calorie, high protein sauces.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that because I don't, as much as I enjoy like Middle Eastern food, I don't automatically think yogurt as like a savory food thing.
Same.
But it's also cold as fuck, so I just don't have yogurt in my house right now.
Oh, I go through like 2 tubs of it a week.
Yeah, I
Smoothies.
do a lot of Greek yogurt and Greek yogurt adjacent foods in the summer because it is hot as fuck and I don't want to turn on the oven ever.
You can add salt and make it a good mayonnaise replacement, especially if you're making like homemade Thousand Island.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Way lower calorie.
You know what? I think when I go to the grocery store next, I might grab a little tub of just plain Greek yogurt and see if I can do a mac and cheese.
Yeah, you
bechamel
can.
sauce.
Probably pretty good.
You definitely can. Another thing I like to do with it is you can get those like sugar-free Jell-O packets.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 100 calories for the entire packet, and just stir that straight into yogurt. You can pretty much have like a huge serving of like pudding that's like 50 calories.
Oh yeah, didn't you use that stuff to make like a protein cheesecake?
Yeah, you just get the sugar-free Jell-O. I'm sure other brands have it. That's just the one I always find of the cheesecake mix. Mix that up with Greek yogurt, and sometimes I'll throw a protein powder in, like chocolate or peanut butter, vanilla for a little extra flavor. Throw that in like a graham cracker crust and bake it. Oh, it's good. And it's like 1,200 calories for the whole pie, but it's also like half a day's worth of protein in like a serving.
Nice.
It's great.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, milk. Next question. Carlos at SCG also asked, will there be a Corn Hub 2.0? Or they did say Corn Hub, not Corn Tub. I read it as Corn Tub originally, and then tried to correct myself, but realized I read it right.
Oops. Potentially. I definitely don't want to put John in a water element when it's cold again and there's not a heat element.
As long as the water element is heated, I'm fine.
Well, if we do it during the summer,
I was
that
also
maybe won't be so bad.
I was also thinking we'd probably do something similar, but maybe on to bigger and better new things. I don't know how much.
Well, next it's soy tub because, you know, we're known as Hoosiers for corn and soy.
That's no. If we're
just-
going to State Pride, we could fill you up in a hot tub full of pork tenderloins.
Oh, I might be down for that.
Dude, I'm trying to take my friend who was trying to decide if he wanted to move here or not, and then he had a tenderloin, and he's like, maybe I do need to move here.
Yeah, for those who don't know what a pork tenderloin is, it's basically just a schnitzel on 2 buns with some toppings. But we are crazy in the state, and we're like, what if you take the schnitzel and you like hammer it to make it a little flat? What if we hammer it so that it is so big and so just stretched out that it's the size of a plate?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant I'm trying to go to with some friends when my one buddy comes back where they actually do that, and then when they bake it, they form it into the shape of a bowl, and then they serve stew in it.
Hit me up.
Yeah, I
Let me
will.
go. I want to go.
Apparently, the stew is an old Macedonian recipe that's been in the family since the 1800s.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
I
That's,
am
you brought me
so
back
in.
around. I was just like, I
Yeah.
don't know about this.
Crazy ass restaurant.
I'm
Hell yeah.
so in.
But yeah, back on Corn Hub 2.0, we did our live show this year in October, and we've been talking on ways to improve and expand upon that. So we might, I don't know how detailed we want to go. I know we talked about maybe doing the show itself pre-recorded and then doing live segments around it, just so we could better edit it, because we know there was some stream issues that people had.
Yeah, for some reason your ISP, like I was checking it all night and all day before the stream, and the pings were good, and then like literally a half an hour before the stream it just dropped and just was a nightmare, and there was nothing we could do about it.
Either that, or when we get to when our next tier goal, we buy like one of those I can't remember what they're called. Those internet access things you can use anywhere.
Yeah. I mean, if we do pre-records and then like hang out in the chat, if folks are cool with that, that would open us up to more like production value, and that's part of the reason why I advocated for us doing the Patreon tiers going forward the way we did, because we are interested in just general doing more like video projects.
That'd be fun.
So that would help facilitate us being able to do that.
Yeah.
So hooray.
Send us to Chicago, folks.
Yes, we'll do a proof of concept by showing you here Indianapolis is spooky.
Yeah, that's our next goal. And then,
Well, there's the $750 a month one where we're gonna get a special item. I believe we agreed on some sort of enamel pin to everybody who's a patron.
Yeah.
And then
Ooh,
the $1,000 one is VTM Indianapolis Spooky Tour VOD, as well as Sarah Does the Comisode.
yeah.
We'll just get the trifecta of bodily fluids.
Blood, milk, cum, go, go, go!
Mucus episode.
That's a you.
That's fine. I'll do it.
It's just going to be on phlegmatic blood.
It's not
'Cause
that means,
phlegm.
but yes.
I think it's time for
Phlegm.
Next question. Get me out of here.
Yeah. All right. So Omen
Mhm.
is getting Paradox backlash. Corn
Oh.
emoji has asked, "What advice would you have for folks who are just starting out running games?" I know we've talked about doing a whole episode on this.
It is in the roster, but if I were to give a quick TLDR, please don't be nervous. What everyone does constantly is storytelling. If you can have just a regular ass conversation, you can tell a story and run a game.
No. I have two big bits of advice like that because I've made all these mistakes trying to run my own games, and I've seen a lot of people also do this when they try and run their own games and then get frustrated. Don't overload yourself. Maybe stick to 2 books. The core book and what's in the player's handbook, or another book that you think's interesting. You can expand from there. Keep it simple. Don't overload yourself with lore and info. You won't remember it all. Your players, especially if they're new, are not going to read most of that anyway. And if they do, they can remember it, and you can say, oh, they're interested in that. I'm going to add that back in. And 2, keep it simple. Everyone I know who's like, I'm going to run a game, they try and write, like, in D&D or whatever it is. They're like, I'm going to write this epic story. Like, I'm writing my own Lord of the Rings to run the players through. And it's like, it's your very first game. How about some orcs attack a village and they defend it? It's your very first game. Oh no, you're in Elysium and the Sabbat attack. Oh no, some anarch stole something and the cam is making you go get it back. Keep it simple, and then you can expand the story and world from there. You don't need an entire living, breathing city to run the first 3 sessions of a game to see if people like it. And it'll probably go a lot better if you keep it simple, focused. You have a few NPCs with names that everyone can learn and remember and interact with. And they have simple goals that they can actually accomplish. So they feel like, oh, we're getting things done. Even if it's still horror and there's like bad things happening to them in the long run, just simple goals that they can knock out and you can get done in a night, which is probably like 3 scenes. So you don't need to play in more than 3 locations, probably no more than 5 NPCs. That will get you for your first game. See what people like, go from there.
Yeah. If you're wanting to try to punch your players in the gut with your friends in the nice, friendly way, their characters give you all the things to do it. Just like pick up their character sheet background and be like, oh, okay, yeah, homie had to abandon his mom in the little town to run away from, the person who ended up embracing him. That's pretty rough. So your mom shows up in town. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This is just... Yeah. Storytelling does not have to be super complicated at all.
Yeah.
There's a reason why some of my favorite movies are dumb as shit.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just like, look, I just have a setup, follow through with it.
That's all you got to do.
Yep.
Even if the first session is just like, hey, you guys are going from A to B, one of you gets carjacked.
It's like getting into any other hobby. Your first painting should not be a mural. Your first, the first thing you write shouldn't be an epic novel. The first song you write is not going to be a full symphony. You know what I mean? Just admit to yourself, I'm new to this. I want to get started. I'm going to make it really simple. So.
And there are absolutely modules that you can just scratch some names off of and put things in from that your players have given you, and no one will fucking know. I've been doing it for 15 fucking years. I do it all the time. They're like, how'd you come up with this? I'm like, I've just been running the plot of this movie from the early 90s. No one has called me on it yet.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
And Spooky Plant Gang Grill, leaf corn emoji, asked, I think, a good follow-up question, which is, on the same note, what resources would you recommend for people that want to write their own campaign?
Ooh.
This, I think, will also tie into that episode we're working on, but I think some basic ones, I know, like Sarah just said, like, your favorite horror movies or TV shows. Like, find that basic plot, try and write it, summarize it down into plot beats, and then take those plot beats and put them into World of Darkness, and you change the names.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, John, you talk. I'm trying to look something up real quick.
I feel like a lot of like, if you want to try to like touch in on the politics of things, if that's your goal for like a campaign, it'd be pretty easy to just kind of read up on the clans and how they kind of feel about each other, and you can add those praises and prejudice that the clans feel for each other very easily. I mean, it's in the books, just be like, okay, the Nosferatu are generally just disrespected by the Toreador. Okie dokie. You can definitely tie in a lot of political stuff in your writings if you wanted to try to do that. I do like the idea of picking up horror movies, though. Just being like, that's the one.
If you want more babies first, trying to plan story writing, I absolutely recommend going to YouTube. Crash Course has a couple of series about mythology and also literature.
Cool.
Yeah, they've got some good stuff.
They do a really good job of doing baby's first introduction to various concepts, and I really like their little mythology series because it covers a wide array of mythologies, but they break the episodes down kind of by themes, which is nice. So you can get kind of like, okay, I want to tell the story about a certain theme, but, you know, usually this story is told with a lot of, like, Greek or Roman god themes. But in that episode, they're like, oh, yeah, by the way, there's, like, African gods and, like, Southeast Asian, like, various deities that have these other stories. And you go, oh, that's neat.
That is neat.
Yeah. And, yeah, so I highly recommend then each of the episodes is, like, 10 to 15 minutes. There's a fuckload of things. I got them a whole set up in little YouTube playlists that you can just binge.
Yeah, very bingeable.
Yeah. And then they have some other series that we'll be talking about. You know, I shared a Crash Course series about media literacy in the Discord, and they have other ones that talk about like art and politics, and they do a really good job of breaking down elements of storytelling in very like bite-sized baby consumable bits. So Crash Course series, absolutely 100%.
Yeah. Also, figure out the scale of what game you want to write, which if you're just getting started into it, I would keep it small, like I said earlier, but
keep it straight level, please.
Find adventures from other game systems and see how they kind of lay out things and use that as a template. When I was running the first, the newest edition of Hunter, we already talked about how confusing that is, H5 if you want to call it that, but I literally just took a Call of Cthulhu adventure, changed the dates to be more modern, and put a vampire, the Masquerade vampire, in there instead of the Call of Cthulhu version of a vampire.
Instead of a Shoggoth or whatever.
Yeah, and basically, that was my adventure. Like, no one recognized it. I've run that for multiple groups now. Like, you can literally just take other adventures for your first couple and be like, because they're written by professionals who write adventures. Go to Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu. There's so many like free adventures online, cheap ones. You can get $15, get 5 adventures you can read through and just say, this is how it goes. They don't even have to be vampire ones. I think just looking at how...
Yeah, and if I need to double check this, but I think Renegade is setting up a mailing list for people that are like looking to run games for like local shops. Running games in shops, I understand it's very intimidating because you're raw dogging the public, but being able to do that and run games at conventions, I found has just been like, oh, makes me feel much more confident as a GM because I'm like, oh, these are people I don't know, but I can still run things and plan for things. But that program, there should be offering also free modules for people to run at shops on their behalf as well. So that might be something to look into too.
Okay.
So, woo. If you're an extrovert like I am, where I'm like, I love talking to people. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a good starter one. We'll dig more into it in that upcoming episode, but hopefully that'll get you started. For our next question, Rosin wants to know, what's the most fuckable Muppet?
I don't want to fuck any of the Muppets.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be rude. It's just like...
Vincent Price was on the Muppets.
He was.
Can I count him?
I would say yes, because he is a bisexual king.
Vincent Price.
Hell yeah.
Next question.
It's Muppets, and for me, okay, and this is the thing I have where it's like a lot of animated things don't register to me as horny material because I have such a tie in my brain from animation to like kids material. And Muppets also fill into that niche. So just my brain won't process that as a horny thing. Though a Muppet related fuck thing that I do find very funny
Oh boy.
is there's a 70s porno movie called Let My Puppets Come. It is a
Oh.
Muppet musical.
That is a weird one.
It's super weird. It's insane. If you can find a copy of it and you want to have a ha-ha of just like, what the fuck is... If you want to see the power of cocaine in action, definitely recommend that. But I'm sorry. I'm just like, the most fuckable one, none of them. I can't, just my brain will not process that. I apologize.
No. I was going to say if I had to pick one, Janice.
Okay.
Just because of that mouth, though.
That mouth, though. You know what? I respect that. I respect your choice.
That mouth dough. I see what you're saying, except that then the mouth opens and it's just a triangle.
But there's like so much room.
It's padded. It's Muppet material.
I guess that's fair. And there's a hand in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are we just getting jerked off with a puppet, or are these like actual living beings?
Yeah.
That's
How are we approaching this question?
That's just because then I have to get the consent from the Muppeteer,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I don't know who's piloting which Muppet at any given time, so who knows?
Usually multiple people.
Yeah,
So it'd be like a team of people working on you.
that's just that's like at least a threesome, at least bare minimum.
Yeah, it seems like a lot.
I'm not against it. I'm just kind of like I am against it in the fact that it's a Muppet.
It's a Muppet.
I
yeah,
think
that's-
I'd be
Yeah.
probably more comfortable with it if it was just like a group of females puppeting a puppet instead of it being a living creature. I think that would just pass the line. I can't remember what it's called, where something looks Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
A real living puppet would just real
Absolutely.
Muppet would just like
Also,
I'd be too busy crying.
Yeah.
Muppets, puppets, dolls are very like anti-horny for me as well.
Yeah,
so
and
I'm like,
I also agree with like you said, like anything that's like children's entertainment adjacent, just like I don't mean to kink shame, but immediately just goes into that's weird. I don't want that sexualized.
yeah, like I even remember being like a teenager when it would have been appropriate age-wise for people to be like, oh yeah, a character from like Kim Possible is hot, and I'm just looking at them going, what the fuck are you talking? I don't understand. There are characters in Castlevania I think are hot, but they're also grown-ass adults in a grown-ass media. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, that's fine. Even when I was a teenager, I was like, I don't want to fuck teenagers. I'm not into it. I don't want to fuck a young adult. If you can't rent a car by yourself, I don't fucking want it. I'm sorry. Just no.
Perfect.
I think that answers that
I
question.
do feel like that answers. Vincent Price is the answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's fair.
Okay.
I would smash Tim Curry in Muppet Treasure Island though.
Fair. And he's been on the Muppets multiple times.
Multiple times.
Yeah. What else we got?
Our next question, a lot of people jumped in on the giving their answer.
Oh, yeah.
So we're having to
most-
scroll through the Muppet Insanity.
Yeah, just so everyone knows, everyone said Gonzo pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
That was the listener consensus.
Yes.
The
Apparently.
thing is, like, I would have a like.
Is it just because he's funny?
I would have a platonic
Or that
hangout.
nose, though?
Oh God, I was gonna say I'd have
Probably
a
both.
platonic hangout date with Gonzo because Gonzo seems fucking great.
Until he accidentally explodes you.
Is that any worse than anyone I've ever dated before?
That's fair.
Hey.
Sarah has a bad dating history.
Womp, womp.
Look at that! Just look at the lack of surprise.
All right. So our next question is from Gogo, the Buck Cake Mistress, who wants to know, let's say you've been embraced, but haven't been keeping up your humanity. Whoops. Which road/path of enlightenment would you personally choose? Would you be seeing a typhonous John or an ecstatic John, etc.? Also, I hope this isn't rude to say, but surprisingly, thank you, Gogo, for getting us back in track away from the horny.
Yeah, I mean the paths
I will
can
say-
be horny if decided.
I will
Yes.
say, Gogo, I have to give you credit that you did pick two paths specifically meant for, like, setites. So it didn't really get that far away from the horniness.
I mean, it has given me the time to pull up the list a little bit because there's a lot of paths.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of looked into this because I remember when this was posted and I was like, that's actually a really interesting one. I believe, I'm trying to remember the name of it. But there's one that I was like, unfortunately, that's probably it for me. So, yes. So for me, unfortunately, it probably would be the Western Path of Paradox. We haven't really dove
I talked about it a
into-
bit in the Ravnos, but I didn't like dig into it.
Yeah, and we mostly talked about the Indian version of it too, which is much more common. The Western path of paradox, I'm looking at the White Wolf wiki, so I'm paraphrasing a little bit. But this path basically teaches that all of existence is fluid and malleable. Nothing is permanent or real. The universe is an ever-shifting vortex, and all in it is composed of variable amounts of ethereal matter. And so they are trying to disrupt social norms and change others' perception of what they perceive as reality, all to devour and destroy the creations of the antediluvians and free all that energy from the twisted world that they created. So this path is known as being particularly annoying and is stuck with Malkavians and Ravnos. So it's very me-coded already.
Yep.
But so there are different sins with the path, kind of like humanity, where it's like, oh, at level 10 I would never have an impure thought. So one being like, I'd never committed genocide kind of thing. But the ones for this one are one, you will never actively induce boredom. 2, you will never actively hinder change. 3, you'll never join a sect. 4, refusing to release the way of an empowered device or use it to your advantage. So not destroying an artifact or claiming it as your own. Like, it's very much, everything is made out of this one type of energy and you will control it or destroy it. And I think if I'm falling down a path of humanity where I've lost my humanity, I would definitely revert to my annoying teenage years where I was really into breaking things. Annoying other people, and basically just being a problem.
Yeah, okay.
I grew up watching Jackass. It's
fair.
And skateboarding.
It's fair, yeah.
Any excuse to do graffiti and steal things from people, I guess. That would be me, though.
Yeah, what were you thinking, John?
I'm having a rough time. I did look up the Path of Ecstasy just to see if Go-Go was on it. I haven't read enough yet.
I did play a character on the Path of Paradox in that last game we mentioned.
Yeah.
He was
earlier
on Path
question.
Of Paradox?
Yeah, because his whole goal was to kill your mom.
Oh, yeah, that would have been fine.
And who was your mom again?
Huh?
Who was your mom?
Helene.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just going to destroy an antediluvian. That was the whole reason he came back. And then we did other stuff.
She wasn't
She wasn't quite an antediluvian.
She's working her way up there.
She's 4th gen at that point.
She's a Methuselah.
But I thought we found out that her plot was basically trying to re-become one.
Yeah,
So
she was eating her way up the chain.
Yeah.
So
his plan was to stop that from happening.
Probably a good plan,
Valid.
honestly. Yeah. I'm having a hard time on it.
Are you?
Yeah, I mean...
What's calling to you?
I don't know, man. I don't know. The one I want to say is metamorphosis, because experimentation and branding is great. But we kind of talked about this earlier, and as of right now in life, I don't know that I would for sure have the stomach for Path of Metamorphosis.
But you would have lost your humanity at this point.
Right. So at that point, I wouldn't really care so much about, like, exhibiting compassion for others so that I can instead, focus on learning weird shit about the world. That could be a problem.
Yeah.
The fates of others drag one into de-evolution, not transcendence. That's a problem. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm like, Path of Typhon makes sense. Path of Lilith also makes sense for me. I really like Path of Death and the Soul.
What's that one? Tell us about that one.
That one, basically, it is the modern offshoot of the old Road of Bones. But basically, your whole thing is you're here to study death and its entire processes.
Oh yeah, that's a
That's
cool
your whole
one.
thing.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
I'd be into that.
I remember reading that one. I was like, this is a really cool character, but not for me. I think.
Yeah.
I don't think that's where I would end up.
Yeah, it's a lot of like, okay, you're gonna study things and understand like the systems and processes of life, death, rebirth, mostly the death side, but you can't have death without life, so you got to do the whole thing. But it's a lot of like weird, cold detachment of just like, that's neat.
But it's a very intellectual kind of detachment. I remember, isn't one of the quote unquote sin levels not killing something unless you're going to study it dying, basically? Or is it not studying something that's dying in front of you? Maybe both, but
Killing without studying the death is a no-go. Showing compassion's a no-go. Showing an aversion to death's a no-go. Not killing when useful or necessary, no-go. But also, like, frenzying is also just like, no. You're allowed to have your emotions.
Not
Your
allowed to
emotions are valid, but you can't let them, like, overtake you.
See, that's funny. In Metamorphosis, there's at a higher level, it's actually not letting the riding out the beast is a no-go because you have to know your beast in order to control it.
But yeah, I also think like being a Typhonist also would make sense.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, there's like a few that I'm like, this
failing to destroy a vampire in Golconda is a dot in Typhonist. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You are annoying as fuck.
So, what exactly is a Typhonist? What's their big belief?
I'm still reading through it. Boop-a-doop-boop. Followers of this path fight against the beast by indulging in it in controlled manner and gaining so much more tolerance against its call, in a similar manner to the rising resistance against alcohol and alcoholic possessors, until the time when Set will return to cleanse his followers from the beast and form a new world after reclaiming his throne from the sun god.
Okay, so it's a big Setite one, but it's about just becoming one with your beast to overall control it. That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like you'll indulge and do some like things that other people are just like, that's fucking insane, and you're just like, look, if I don't experience this and learn how to manage it while I'm in the throes of it, I'm going to become weak and subservient to it. I've not role played these as NPCs ever in my life. It's very funny. And there's some thoughts that, and it's like I do like a lot of stuff with Path of Bahari and like the Path or Bahari and the Path of Lilith stuff. There's just, I've in the past had some quibbles with the way that like the Bahari and all that stuff is written and portrayed, but I might need to revisit that in an episode. I just remember a lot of that stuff kind of hitting for me in a weird like portions of like second wave feminism that give me the ick kind of way, but my perspective on that might have changed by now. So I don't know. I need to relook at it.
Yeah, I think that's also an episode we could put down later, is just looking into paths more as alternatives to humanity, whether for NPCs or players themselves. But I think that would be an interesting episode. We could probably do a couple because there's so many and they tie into so
I'll add it
much.
to the list.
It's on the mega list. But
honestly, now looking over at it again, though, I think Path of Ecstasy would be one that would be
you really
a good,
wow
good grab. Again, going back to old habits, like if I lost my humanity, I would probably lose a lot of the like life lessons that I've learned in ways that I've like, you know, grabbed more empathy from the world and this, that, and the other, and I'd be much more about like, well, all that really matters is my own pleasure, to the point that I'm going to drown my own beast in pleasure.
I'm here to suck blood and fuck forever.
Yeah.
So you and I would go back to playing bowling ball baseball, and Sarah'd be like, well, when they kill someone, I'm going to watch.
I'm just going to watch them kill each other and just like Slav squat and just with a notebook.
All right. So I think we got that figured out.
It'll be a good time.
Yeah. And then, let's see, next question. Witch Knight Black asks, you choose one discipline, any addition, to use and master. You are still your mortal selves, but you simply have access to it. Which discipline do you choose? If you choose thaumaturgy, you are limited to a single path. So which path do you choose?
Rude.
Specifically, call it your ass right there.
I mean, it's not hard to call my ass out. Okay, if I'm picking thaumaturgy, I am picking Path of Technomancy. Because that's just cool as fuck and could be super useful. It's like, oh, you mean I can encrypt my hard drives, and the only way to decrypt them is through my Vitae specifically? Get fucked.
That's fun.
Because the fun thing with that is, as far as I'm aware of the rule set, that I'm like, even if a mage gets hold of it, I'm like, you can't unencrypt that unless you have my Vitae, and if I'm somewhere, the fuck else get fucked. You need my blood specifically. You can't kill me.
Bye.
I've bought time now. I'm the key. I just like playing little MacGyver menace characters. It's a problem I have. Where I'm just like, can I solve this problem with 3 rubber bands and a lot of moxie?
Hopefully. I think for practicality reasons, I would pick animalism. purely for feral whispers.
Yeah.
It's just so you can talk to the dog. Just, buddy, calm down.
Like, dude, you're good. Everything is gonna be fine. You don't have to bite that dude in the face. Okay, well, you bit him in the face, and I understand why. He's kind of a dick, but
It would make your job way easier.
it would make my job so much fucking easier when somebody's like, I found this stray. I don't know what to do with it. I could be like, hey, are you his dog? And the dog will be like, yeah. And I can be like, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah.
It'll be
He's
great.
like, yeah, he's my dad. I was like, he keeps saying he's your dad.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, man. He's trying to say that he's never met you before. You should probably bite him.
No.
No,
Okay.
don't bite people, dogs. If
If
you
I-
can hear me, don't bite people. You get on quarantines, and it's not a good
If
time.
I were to pick an actual, no, I hate saying an actual, but if I were to pick a regular ass discipline, I'm picking presents.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Because it's like, I already social no jutsu my way through just so much shit that I'm like, I should not be allowed
Yeah,
in this
presents
room.
would be rad.
Presents would be living on easy mode, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just be like, hey, bud, you should just give me that.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'd solve so many problems if I just had fully mastered presents. I'd just like walk into rooms and just be like, hey, guys, just full on the Jedi mind trick of you don't see shit. And they're like, yeah, I guess we don't.
I was just gonna say chemistry
You
because
would.
it'd be cool.
Mhm,
Yeah.
It'd be so easy to play little tricks,
Mm-hmm.
and like it'd be so easy to decorate your apartment if you can just put up permanent illusions.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be great. I'm over here just thinking like, dude, if I had maxed out presents, I'm just like, get me in a room with Mark Zuckerberg. I can solve every problem. I will solve all of the problems.
I
Just
mean,
one by one, go through all of the billionaires and just soft bully them into being like, hey, just like stop.
Well, you're kind of a dick.
I could too with horrid reality. Just trap them all in their own mind and done.
There you go.
There you go. I was trying to think of a way that didn't involve them being a potato, but you know, potato time it is.
They can be a potato for like 10 years.
I don't think that's an immoral move. On
No,
my
I'm
part.
not saying it's immoral. It's just I was like, damn, son.
Well, I'm already on a path, a path, and not a humanity. So why not?
Yeah.
Eh.
I guess those are separate questions.
Those were
but-
separate questions, but you're in the mindset.
Yeah.
Practicality, I'm still sticking with animalism.
All right.
But one that I want to have,
Mhm.
I'd say vicissitude.
Yeah.
I want a flesh pocket.
As much as
That
you-
would be hard
much
though with
as you-
being a human though, so you wouldn't have any of the vampire healing.
You don't have to heal.
You don't?
No.
not with this dude.
Not
no.
with vicissitude.
Okay, I thought some stuff still required a little bit of healing afterwards.
Nope. Because you can literally just like push it into place however you want. Technically, as a vampire, you can reverse most vicissitude by forcing healing.
Okay.
But if
So
you're
as a
regular
human,
guy,
I could not. I would have to re-vicissitude to put things back,
Okay.
which could be a bit of a
which
pain.
could also solve the billionaire problem. You just turn them all into chairs.
Yeah. Be like, hey, look, you can be a chair, or you can donate 90% of your wealth.
I'm not saying you're going to be destitute because that I'm not cruel.
No, not at all. You'll have wealth. You'll have a fancy house.
Mhm.
You can live on a beach.
Yeah.
But how about you just feed all of California for the next 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
All
Right?
For next question is from Eric COGG Werewolf Pastor,
Ah, damn, he changed.
and they ask, "What is your I was just on the fucking bench moment?"
Oh God.
I don't know what this question means.
Okay, so there's a audio clip from John Mulvaney where the bit is, I was over on the bench. I was minding my own business. I was over on the bench. And it's just kind of become an internet meme of you're off to the side minding your own business. And then something happened. And now you're just like, I'm in it now.
Does this have to be in game?
Sounds like
Because
it.
I think he's meaning in game.
I was gonna. Oh, okay. I was gonna say the time that Jay walked up to my car and I had to talk to him for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's fair.
Outside. I was just in the fucking car. Just sitting there
I
in
was
the
minding
car.
my own.
I was just minding my own business in the fucking car.
Ah.
I would say recently my IRL one was when I went to the bathroom at a Mexican restaurant,
Mhm.
and there was a guy just struggling and crying a little bit in the stall, but I could also hear him just watching nonstop reels about plastic surgery on his phone.
Huh.
That was a
That's
whole
a-
lot to take in.
That's an energy.
Yeah.
Just shitting your brains out and like watching a video about nose jobs and like being in tears from the shit a little bit.
Oh, I hate that.
I just washed my hands and held it. I left. I touched enough bathroom. I felt like I needed to wash my hands, but I was like, I'm gonna go.
Oh my God. I'm trying to think of I was over on the bench in IRL. I did recently kind of fuck myself. I gave myself like a bad brain vibe and I didn't mean to. It's just kind of what happened. So, the recent inauguration happened at the same time for one of my classes. I had to read Parable of the Sower and write a really pretty intense essay about it. I don't recommend that. Parable of the Sower is a fucking great novel. Octavia Butler's one of my favorite sci-fi authors. That was an energy I did not need. Was those two events happening at the same time and having to process I might not be a citizen of the United States anymore.
Well,
Whoops. And then going back to reading this book where it's just like, oh, California's on fire, and then looking at like, oh, California's on fire. Like at the same time. On fire. I was like, that was at me just being like, I need to lay down. I bought myself a gigantic bag of gummy bears to get
gummy
through
bears
that.
Are pretty great.
I do love gummy bears.
I've been really on the Nerds gummy cluster thingies.
Ooh,
they have the
good.
crunchy Nerds on the those are so fucking good.
They're just a lot, so I can't eat them very often. But like if I get a little Halloween packet of them, little sachet,
I will eat a bag.
It's too much.
A whole bag.
Yeah, I think that's my IRL. I was over on the bench, was just like, oh God, just the thing. And it also doesn't help that the timeline that the book is happening is like now time. The book was originally written in the early 90s, and they were like, we're writing it in the near dystopian future of 2024. And I'm like, oh, it's now.
Stop.
Octavia, stop.
Fair.
But it's also very good, and I highly recommend it as a novel. Just don't read it during the Trump inauguration, but that time's passed now, so you're safe.
All right. Brian, I have no idea what those symbols are, so I'm not even going to try and pronounce them. And then a corn emoji asks, what is the best narrative sucker punch you've been thrown and the worst? Something that really kicked you right in the dice and threw you for a reroll.
Very good.
Good branding there, Brian.
Yeah,
he also runs the Etsy shop Reroll Woodworks.
Yeah, you should check it out.
He's donated a couple of his dice boxes for our giveaways and such. So.
And I've bought some and I use them and they're great.
Yeah,
if you see me running games for Gehenna Gaming at a con in the next year or in this year of our Lord 2025, I will have a sample of his work or their work with me for you to hold in your palm and go, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, yeah, there's the link. You should give them money and get a box.
Buy it. My favorite and narrative sucker punch, worst and best, is the one I was talking about earlier.
Ah, yes.
I was playing Ken Dread, the rock and roll vampire, the concept that came from Illy Beidel, the rock and roll vampire.
Mm-hmm.
And through the whole campaign, I have been like offhandedly commenting and slightly actively behind the scenes supporting this band that Ken really likes and like reminded him of that humanity's important and blah, 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 right? Mm-hmm. Sentimental shit. And then she gets fucking killed in the middle of a concert at the end of it, and the only way to bring her back is embracing her. Tried to ghoul her. Poison that she had was anti-ghoul, apparently. I don't know how that works, but had to embrace her. And it's really fucking sad, because, you know, your humanity is the only reason that you can create true beauty and, like, actual human works of art.
Toreadors.
And you fucking getting vampired up kills your humanity, which means all your beautiful art is at least mildly fake.
Hey, John.
What?
I owe you somewhat of an apology for that.
Yeah, that's your fucking fault. Actually, not completely your fucking fault.
No, the storyteller for that campaign pinged me because I wasn't involved in the game, and he was like, hey, sir, you have some free time? And I was like, not much, but yes, what do you need? And I was like, hey, I want you to NPC this Bana Hakim assassin. I have a job for you. And I went, all right, bet. And explained it to me, and I was like, okay, if I'm actually going to do this, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. And then I have these countermeasures. I just gave the whole spiel of just to make sure that this thing would happen. And they went, oh, shit, I didn't even think about some of those things. Sick. And then, yeah, whoops.
Well, I will say it led to one of the more emotionally charged sessions I have ever had. So that's cool.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm sorry I had a twisted knife really good. Yeah. That's fine. I'm trying to think of a good oof. Okay, I got kind of a good oof as of late. So game I am in. I have role-played game where me and another player character we're like mutually bloodbound to each other and are in a romance plot. Due to us both partaking in Valdery and therefore breaking the blood bond. Basically and then we had a conversation just trying to like reassess, being like, are we still a couple? Like, what's happening? Like, where are we? And this is like the first actual conversation my character has had with this guy, and it was very much like the rose tinted glasses have been ripped off moment, and just realizing, having to fully confront the fact that, oh, this person that I have feelings for is a monster, because they've been a vampire for much longer, and they had like a proper embrace and proper training and used to be at a lower humanity even, and I'm baby neonate and still have hope for things. So I'm just having to sit there and just look at this person that I care about and go like, realizing that I was like, oh, they're fucked up. And then also realizing that they're like a mirror of like, oh, I could have been this if I wasn't such a bitch. And scrolled my way out of nonsense. And I could become this. And so that was nice. And then Eric hit me with a car.
Eric hit you with a car. Boo, 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 boo.
So, so that was fun to deal with that tonal whiplash of like, I need to break up with him. And then the car hit us. And then I was like, having to deal with the character going, oh, this man that I had this horrifying revelation about, I still love and have feelings for. So I picked him up and took him to safety. And then was like, he's a monster, but I still love him. Fuck, what do I do with this?
I have a few ideas.
I know. Please don't. Please don't.
I'm just saying, ground time's important sometimes.
Oh my god. I know. Just Grandpa Pietro walks out and goes, you're grounded, and he's just in the ground.
In the ground. It'll be extra funny because he won't understand like the actual reference.
Oh no.
He'll be saying it literally. He won't mean it like you're grounded to your room.
He's just accidentally punning and having no idea.
All the time.
I fucking love that. Hunter, do you got one?
Yeah, that's a tough one. The most emotional scene that I've had to deal with as a character, I feel like there's a couple. I'm trying to pick one. I'm going to go with when we were playing our Chicago game.
Mm-hmm.
This probably, it's just a moment that stands out to me, but my character in it was a Ventru who ran like a big country club, and they used the grounds of it for hunting humans for sport, and it was like kind of a competitive event. And I think we actually got to do a whole session that was basically just him hosting an event from like doing that, him like putting on a show for everyone, and then like watching other people compete and then using his excuse to like get info and stuff. And I thought that was just really cool because I had built this whole character just around that whole concept, and I finally got to like, oh, we're just doing a whole session of that. All right, I have so many fucking ideas. That was like really fun, really cool for me.
Oh hell yeah! I was just like, yeah, well, you built up a really cool thing. So I was like, okay, we have a chunk of the story where this thing has been in the background as like, oh yeah, no, you need a plan for this, and you have these connections because people have come to the event, and you've got notoriety for yada yada. And I was like, fuck it, what if we just did it? So I was like, all right, Hunter, plan one of these events, go. Yeah, and he was like, okay, I would do this and this and this and this, and I'm like, okay, took those notes. Your ghoul, that was the NPC, just made sure I did some rolls behind the scene to make sure she had everything squared away. She didn't botch anything, so I was like, okay, cool, yeah, this is time to let him show off doing the thing.
Yeah, it was fun. So it was fun. So the event was, there was a big hedge maze in the back of the club, and there was a big like observatory window and some cameras that people could watch from, and we would just release a human in the hedge maze, and who could catch them in the most interesting or impressive way possible.
That person was very traumatized.
Yes. I chose someone down with a highlight ball.
Yeah.
Which is the fastest ball in sports.
I wonder how fast they go.
Yeah, highlights that thing where they got the scoop attached to their hand, and they yeet the steel ball. It's
a steel ball being thrown out of a giant wicker hook basket, basically.
That's just on your arm, like a Wolverine claw.
I know I already mentioned this show, so it's on my brain, but there is, I believe in the movie, where the Jackass movie, where they get a highlight ball thrown at them, and I think they said that is like actually the most dangerous thing they've ever done.
Yeah, that's pretty up there. I forgot they did that. Jesus Christ.
Up to 188 miles per hour or 302 kilometers.
That's so scary because, like, I know there's been instances of people getting killed by, like, hockey pucks.
Yeah.
And that's not a steel ball. Holy shit. I Man, we make some choices as a species.
Oh, to be fair, when they did it on Jackass, I forgot they just used an orange.
That still is
Still
like
would explode.
crazy.
Yeah.
And also, the maximum speed a hockey puck can reach on the ice in the NFL is approximately 110.
So not too
So
far off.
still crazy fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's 177 kilometers for everyone else.
Yeah, sorry, we still read things in freedom units.
Because this place is free
Only units I understand.
of any logic.
Yeah.
All right. So we have some more questions, but we're hitting about that time. So I think we're going to hold those and we'll do another one of these next year. I took a note where
Yeah.
not next year, later this year. It's too early in this year to say next year. We will do one
Later.
on this year.
At some point.
And so we'll be asking for more questions. So free to put your questions in the mailbag chat in our Discord if you have questions you'd like us to answer. Seems like we got thank you for everyone who sent us questions. I think we
Yeah.
got a couple episode ideas out of this. I know at least one of them was already on the list, but either way, it should be fun.
I like doing these. It's fun.
Yeah.
Huzzah!
It requires no preparation from us, and it's a lot of fun anyway.
Yeah. And
So thanks, everybody, for doing the work for us.
maybe at some point we can bully one of our delightful voice actor friends to also participate
Come ask us the questions.
Ooh.
or answer the questions.
Ooh.
I don't know. We've been doing this show for 3 years, and for some reason, I feel like we've been moderately to definitely successful, which is now giving me the audacity of like, what if we did the thing but dumber?
Ooh.
Anyways, thanks Paralyze for the music. If you like their tunes on our show, you should go check them out on Bandcamp and give them $1 or more.
All of that is true.
We also exist on Instagram at blankbodiespod and Blue Sky as blankbodiespod, correct?
Yes.
Yes. And then we're on TikTok at blankbodiespodcast.
Actually, on Blue Sky, we are just blankbodies.bsky.social.
Ooh, so
So-
just blank bodies.
Yeah,
Cool.
just blank bodies. We're right there.
Yeah, if you just type in blankbodies.com, that'll have all of our linky doos.
It do have the links.
And the
Linky
do.
doo.
If you want to join our community Discord to drop off more questions and or hang out with our lovely community, blankbodies.com has a link to that, and it is free. There are a couple of portions, though, that are closed off for our patrons. Thank you for your support. We appreciate you for allowing us to do this dumbass show. I know it's not dumb. I do way too much research, but if I call it smart,
Then people will have expectations.
Yeah, people have expectations of me, and I refuse.
Yes.
But the dollars that you have given us, we've used to upgrade equipment, and we are continuing to expand the show as much as we can. Also, benefits outside of having some private channels that we use to like chitty chat with you guys and whatnot. You get to vote on polls to help us decide how the show goes in various ways. We want to make sure we're making stuff you actually care about.
Yeah, and I've got one next up for our next patron bonus episode where you got to get those back on track. So I might just pick the next top 2 and I'll just write those and then
Hell
we'll
yeah.
go forward just so we can get back on track. There will be another poll next month, but
Yeah.
I don't want to get ahead. So top two will be our next 2 patron episodes. So I
Fuckers
can
keep splitting the polls. It drives me insane.
I just pick.
I'm working on the wheel.
They're gonna hear this, and I say next 2, and they're gonna tie 3 of the 4 answers. I can see it
I
now.
can feel it happening in my bones. But if you're doing something cool and you want to share it with the wider audience, blankbodies@gmail. We are happy to hear about any kind of cool creative thing you're doing. Do you do art and illustrations, voice acting, LARP, organization, actual plays? Do you write game systems that you think our audience would be like, hey, that's neat. We'd love to talk to you about that stuff. Because community is cool.
Yay. Yeah, so come hang out.
Mhm.
Come give us money on Patreon. Come talk to us if you're a real vampire.
Yes.
I think those are the bits.
I was
the
waiting.
main
I was just
notes.
like looking at John vaguely, being like, "Is he gonna say it?"
I was waiting for a moment.
Okay.
A nice, quiet moment.
All right.
Hey, vampires. If you can hear me, just reach out a little bit. Touch our email. Touch me on Discord. Just let me know if you're a real vampire.
Touch you on Discord.
I mean, not like literally touch, but like you can hit me up and say, "Hey, I'm a real vampire," and I'll be like, "Really?" And we might talk. We'll find out.
We'll talk.
Yeah, we'll chat.
We'll talk. See if we'll talk.
An
Yeah.
interview, if you will.
Yeah, I could interview you, a vampire.
I'm going now. Bye.
Goodbye. Mwah.
E.